The new year is nearly here, and that means that a lot of us are setting goals, resolutions, intentions, whatever it is you want to call them, to better our lives and better ourselves. Reading is something that can be profoundly impactful in so many ways. You can learn so much. In fiction books, you can get away from reality for a while, and you can get inspired to try something new or go out there and just live your best life. Whatever the case may be, I have a list of 20 books that I think are so life-changing that you need to read them in 2020, and I'm going to dive right in. I'm not going to spoil any of the books for you. Most of them I have in fact read. I think there's 2 or 3 on the list that I haven't read yet, but are in my possession or are pre-ordered and ready for me to get them to read them, and I guarantee that they will be impactfully life-changing, even though I haven't actually read them yet, because the authors are impactfully life-changing. Or I've heard really good things about the book. Whatever the case may be, here are 20 books that you need to read in 2020 to change your life. I kind of tried to organize this list by subject, so first we're going to get onto a bunch of books about habits, routines, and the way we choose to live our lives has obviously a major impact on the outcome of our lives. So I have a bunch of books about habits that I have found to be incredibly impactful in my own life personally. And the first one will come as no surprise. It's this one. It is Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book is a game changer, my friends. You need to listen to it. You need to read it. I'm in the middle of rereading it after having already listened to the audiobook. And when I heard the audiobook, the stuff that James was saying was so impactful and so obvious. There were so many things that were so obvious in there that I was like, I never thought of it that way before. And just thinking about it in a new way really shifted my mindset. And one of the biggest things that I got out of this, and there are so many things, you have to read the book, but one of the biggest takeaways that I've taken is you have to make sure you are focused on not a goal, but on becoming an identity. So for example, a lot of you here are here because I create weight loss content. You have to start thinking of yourself not as, oh, I need to go work out. That's part of my routine. Oh, I need to eat vegetables. Oh, I need to drink water. You need to start thinking of yourself as a fit human being in your goal weight. Like, if you were that person, what would that person be doing? If you lived your life like the person you want to be, the person you want to identify with, you are a person that works out. You are a person that eats all your vegetables. You are a person that says no to alcohol and junk food. You are a person who, whatever the case may be, that was one of the most profoundly impactful things that was talked about in this book, but there are so many more. I highly recommend it. The next book I do not have with me because I haven't read it and I don't own it, and it is called The One Thing. And the author focuses on identifying and pursuing the one thing on any given project that would make the most impact. And that's obviously a very, very important thing if there is an entire book that is best-selling based on this topic. Whatever your project may be, finding that one thing. What is the one thing that will make the biggest impact, and how do you knock that out of the park? This next book I have read twice in my life, and once was very recently, and I was just as wowed the second time as I was the first. This is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. 21 great ways to stop procrastinating and get more done in less time. And oh my gosh, the stuff that's in here, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the stuff that Ms. Rachel Hollis likes to preach came from this book. You can tell that she has read this book because she implements a lot of the tips that were in this book. This book is a classic, and it is full of so much good information that you can't help but close it feeling inspired and ready to go out there and be more productive. Every single one of these tips it's amazing. Every single one of these tips are impactful, useful, and just, oh my gosh, I want to read this book. I wish I had the time to read it every day as a refresher of how I should approach my day. It's that good. The next book I have preached about time and time again. I do not have a physical copy, but I need to get one, and it is The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. This book was the first book that really impacted me and my habits in a profound way, and that's why I have been preaching its goodness ever since. The Slight Edge is a habit book that just talks about the things that give those people that we as outsiders see as the high achievers, the most successful people, the people who had overnight success, all of that. What gave them the slight edge. The answer might surprise you, and it is something that we all can go after, and it's all in that book. It is an incredible, incredible read. Very, very helpful, very, very practical, and very inspirational. The next book is High Performance Habits by Mr. Brendan Burchard, who is a friend of the Hollis family, and he put out this book, and it's absolutely wonderful. I never knew there were so many good books that made so much sense about habits, and I've become obsessed with books about habits and routines and all that jazz. This book focuses on 6 primary habits, which yes, I am going to tell you, but you're not going to get nearly enough information out of the habits that I tell you because this book is nice and thick and full of information. The 6 habits of high-performing people are seeking clarity, generating energy, raising necessity, increasing productivity, developing influence, and demonstrating courage. And then there's also a couple chapters on how to not fall into different traps about it. High Performance Habits is a great book. I have highlighted, I've written in the margins. It's wonderful. It is a book that I plan on coming back to in the future. Another book about habits and routines that I really, really enjoyed was Better Than Before by Gretchen Rubin. Gretchen Rubin has a handful of really stellar books out there, and I actually have 2 of them on my list. The first one is Better Than Before, which is absolutely worth listening to or reading. It's a great book about habits and routines. And the second book, which is just book number 7 on my list, is The 4 Tendencies. You guys know, and you've heard me talk about The 4 Tendencies a bajillion times. I love The 4 Tendencies because, quite frankly, I think that they are right. Everybody falls into some category of one of these 4 tendencies, and understanding what your tendency is can be literally life-changing. I originally took her quiz ages ago, and I kind of manipulated the answers to come up with the answer I thought I should be, the type of person I thought I should be. And when using all of that information wasn't working for me, I decided to finally go back. This was literally a year or so later. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to retake this quiz and actually be honest. I have to answer in the headspace of the person that I truthfully am right now in this moment. And I got a completely different answer. And it is an answer that, while it's not the answer I wanted, I don't want to be this type of person. Spoiler alert, I'm an obliger. I don't want to be an obliger, but now that I've accepted the fact that I am, it makes my approach towards goals and development and accountability incredibly different than what I was before, and it's helped me so very much. I really think that everybody should read The 4 Tendencies. Figure out which tendency you honestly are. Do not try and change the answers to be the one you think you should be, but actually answer honestly, and I promise you it will be life-changing. Switching over from habits to more routines, I want to talk about The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. This is a book that has, I don't want to say a cult following, but a lot of high performers have read it. A lot of people know what is in this book. It is a great book. They have different editions for teenagers and things like that. It's just wonderful. And if you're looking into developing a morning routine, a solid morning routine, pick this book up. It's not very long, but it is very, very informative. And it might be something that we as a community look into in 2020. Right alongside that one with morning routines, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that this is what I'm reading currently. This is Good Morning, Good Life by Amy Schmittauer-Landino. I love Amy's channel. I love Amy's personality. She is the YouTuber over at Amy TV, and she's one of the only YouTubers I watch. I'll be completely honest with you. And the reason why is she is full of wonderful information about time batching and routines and productivity and just going after the life that you want. That is her catchphrase, go after the life that you want. And one of her big key things to doing that and going after the life that she wants is having a solid morning routine. So she actually wrote her own book about morning routines. It just came out like last week. Just came out, and I have this and the planner, and I plan on using both of these in the new year. I'm reading this now because this may or may not be maybe book club. I can't decide if we're going to do a book club / comment down below if you think we should do a book club in 2020. But this book, I'm this far into it. As you can see, I just started, but I guarantee you, because I love Amy and I love all of her content, I guarantee you this book's going to be a knockout. And I'm how many pages in? I don't even know. I'm 36 pages in and I wish I didn't have anything else to do today, so I didn't have to put it down. It's very, very good, very informative, and very reasonable. I do have one book that I want to mention about the topic of love and marriage. And this book was something that I read because a pastor started preaching sermons on it, and I wanted to dive in deeper. So I got the book. I didn't get like the physical copy, obviously, or I'd hold it up. I need to get the physical copy because it's so good. It is profoundly good. It will absolutely 100% change your marriage for the better, and that is Love and Respect by Brianna Engebretsen. My marriage is the most important thing to me, and my husband and I have a great marriage. Don't get me wrong, we have a wonderful marriage, but I'm not gonna lie. It is because we implement a lot of the things that are in this book. We both know about this book. My husband also listened to the sermons on this book, and it is a book that every couple needs to read. Every couple. I don't care where your marriage is. If you have a great marriage, it'll make your great marriage even better. If you're in a crummy marriage or in a rough spot, I guarantee you it will change your marriage for the better. It's such a good book that I had to make sure I mentioned it, even though it's not about habits, it's not about routines. It is about love and respect and your marriage, and it is 110% worth it. My next book is for the health and fitness side of things, and this is going to come as a surprise to nobody, but you all have to read Body Love by Kelly LeVeque. This book is life-changing in terms of diet and physicality and all of those things. The stuff that she talks about in this book just makes so much scientific sense to me. She gives you a very practical approach to her Fab 4 way of eating, and you guys know that I love Fab 4 smoothies and the Fab 4 way of eating, and this book is the key to it, my friends. You can listen to interviews and stuff by her all you want, but just get the book. I guarantee you, if it's something that you're willing to actually invest time in and effort into, it will change your life. Piggybacking right off of that, my next book is Body Love Every Day by Kelly LeVeque. I don't have it here because it's not out yet, but given how life-changing and how impactful this book is, I can only assume that her second book is going to have the exact same type of impact. I have it pre-ordered. I'm really, really excited to get my hands on it and start the new year with a new Fab 4 Kelly LeVeque book in my possession, and it's going to be great. And if you're interested, I will have the links to all of these books down below, my friends. You can get them all on Amazon, and Amazon, we all know, is the place to get books. I'll have it in January, and I will be reading it and absorbing it and putting all of her things that I learned in this book into practice. If you want to join me, the link's below. The next book, some of you are going to laugh, some of you are going to roll your eyes, and some of you are going to nod your head right along with me. This is not the book, but this is the sequel to the book. The book that I want to talk about is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Miss Marie Kondo. Go watch her Netflix show. Go read the book. We all know that it's so over talked about now. Minimalism and finding the joy in your things and Marie Kondoing and KonMariing and all of that jazz. Guys, there's a reason that it's cliche now. Like, it actually works. It's really great, and especially in a time where we live in such surplus and live in excess and live in the world of having too much and spending too much and just being over the top and too much. It's really worth it to look into this book. Get it from your library or something just to get some inspiration about the stuff you own and maybe considering changing some things. Bonus content, this is Spark Joy, which is the sequel to the book, where she actually tells you how to implement the practices she talks about in the first book. So like there's things like how to fold your clothes in here and illustrations and all sorts of fun stuff. The next book is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I loved this book. I listened to it as an audiobook. I love when authors read their own work, and Jen Sincero narrated her own book, and I just thought it was a great book, kind of a not harsher, but a more direct, tough love type of approach to self-help that I found to be a lot of fun and very informative, so I thought it was worth mentioning here. My next two books are by the same author, and that is Cara Alwill-Leyba, and I love her. I mean, look at how fierce she is with her hot pink hair. Come on. Anyway, this is Like She Owns the Place, and she just released Girl on Fire, and I'm in the middle of this, so I can't actually say, yes, this is profoundly life-changing, but I got such a boost out of this book that I can only assume that this book, I love her content, I love her Instagram, I love her blog, I love all of it. When she writes a book with the title Girl on Fire, How to Choose Yourself, Burn the Rule Book, and Blaze Your Own Trail in Life and Business, there's gotta be something helpful in here, right? So, Like She Owns the Place and Girl on Fire are definitely worth adding to your list. All right, this next book is probably one of the best books, if not the best book I've read all year, and it's Everything is Figureoutable by Marie Forleo. This book just had me doing so many oh my gosh, yes, I was photographing it and putting it on Instagram. I was doing all the things. This book is stellar. A stellar self-help book that basically convinces you that in fact, everything is figure-outable. It is just so good, so well done. This is the table of contents, just to whet your appetite a little bit. The Tropicana Orange, Your Roadmap to Results, The Magic of Belief, Eliminate Excuses, How to Deal with the Fear of Anything, Define Your Dream, Start Before You're Ready, Progress Not Perfection, Refuse to Be Refused, The World Needs Your Special Gift, and The Secret to Lasting Success. Guys, this book is essential. Essential. That's all I'm going to say. All right, my friends. These next 3 books and my last 3 books are going to come as no surprise. And I need to put them in here because if I didn't, I'd be lying to you. These books are, in fact, as impactful as all of the hype that you hear about over and over and over again. There are people that love her. There are people that love to hate her. I'm one of the people that love her. If you're one of the people that hate her, I don't want to hear about it because I don't care. As she likes to say, other people's opinions are none of my business. So there we go. That being said, Girl Wash Your Face and Girl Stop Apologizing by Miss Rachel Hollis are book number 18 and 19. These books are awesome. This book is great. I highly recommend you pick up this one first. They're both amazing, 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 amazing. And then book number 20, I can't show you because it's technically not released yet, but her husband, Dave, wrote a book called Get Out of Your Own Way, and it is his version of Girl Wash Your Face, but it is for the skeptics. It is for people that think like him, and quite frankly, the more I get to know that couple via everything they share on the internet, I am more of a Dave than a Rachel. And if I am as profoundly impacted by Rachel's books as I am, I can't imagine what I would be impacted by in Dave's book because Dave and I are a lot more similar. So I was just so intrigued to know what his perspective on life is that I pre-ordered his book. It's number 20 on my list. You gotta have the Hollis trifecta. Girl Wash Your Face, Girl Stop Apologizing, and Get Out of Your Own Way. And there you go, my friends. 20 life-changing books to read in 2020. Like I said, I will have all the books linked down below for you, and I'm pretty sure all of them are available on Amazon.com, which makes it super, super easy, almost too easy, to add them all to your collection. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I want to hear from you. Do you have a book that was really life-changing for you to read? Let us know in the comments below, and maybe we can get this list from 20 to 40 or even beyond that. So let me know what some of your most life-changing books were in the comments. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch. I hope you found this list helpful and inspiring, and maybe you're considering adding at least one of the books to your bookshelf in 2020. 2020 is the start of a new decade, and let's be honest, it's going to be our best decade yet. Why not start it with a little bit of inspirational and motivational reading? Take care, friends. Bye.